This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thank you for staying with us. The two inmates who escaped from the Columbia County Correctional Institute Thursday morning are now back in custody.
They showed up at a nonprofit in Rockford where an employee recognized them and stalled until police arrived. We have team coverage. Our Gabriela Becerra spoke to the woman who recognized them and turned them into police. But first, our Amanda Quintana has more on who helped them escape. Amanda?
Deering and Newman are back in custody, but there's also a third person in custody. Deputies say last night they arrested a worker at the Columbia Correctional Institution. This is 46-year-old Holly Zimdahl. She was a civilian kitchen worker at CCI and is now facing a charge for being party to the escape. Today, Sheriff Roger Brandner said evidence linking Zimdahl to the escape was found in her car, her home, and on her. But investigators are still trying to find a connection between her and Deering and Newman, who were cellmates. We're also learning more about how the two got out, going over two large fences at a maximum security prison.
I saw some video and some pictures. It's pretty obvious to me that they had some clothing and some items that they put on top of the barbed wire fence to support them getting over it. I do know that both inmates were injured. One of them actually sought medical attention under a false name down in Illinois.
Deputies are still looking for other people who helped the two. Someone picked them up in Poynette on their way to Rockford, and detectives are still looking for that person and any other prison staff who might have helped them escape as well. Once they're both sent back to Wisconsin, they will likely be split up and sent to other prisons, not back to CCI. Sheriff Brandner says the hero in all of this was the woman who recognized the two and stalled until police could get there. Our Gabriela Becerra talked to that woman known as Miss Carly. She's live in Rockford with the latest. Gabby.
Rockford police arrested two inmates who escaped from a maximum security prison in Portage, Wisconsin, here on the doorstep of Miss Carly's place, over 100 miles away from the Columbia Correctional Institution. And it's all thanks to a woman who dedicates her life to helping others.
This is my block, this is my city, and I'm going to do everything I can to protect it.
It's not unusual for strangers to show up on the doorstep of Miss Carly's place looking for help, but founder Carly Rice says she immediately noticed red flags when two men showed up at her nonprofit early Friday morning.
They were only wearing thin thermal shirts and gray sweats, which I recognized to be prison issue. So already I had a flag raised, and when they took off their mask to talk, it was just one of the regular COVID masks. I was like, holy cow, this is those prison escapees.
When she stepped inside to get the pair coats, she called 911, but stayed as calm as possible so she didn't tip them off.
So we stood out there and smoked cigarettes and drank coffee with them until the police showed up.
Rice said it felt like forever waiting for police, when in reality it was only a matter of minutes.
I saw the police starting to gather like 2 blocks away out of the corners of my eyes, and they had no idea because they were digging through a bin of clothes.
Once they were in custody, police say they identified the pair as Thomas Deering and James Newman using tattoos and pictures. One inmate is insisting he isn't who they say he is.
It's a picture, and by gosh, we can all look at a picture and say that, you sure that's not you? Because it sure looks like you, so.
Police applauded Rice for her quick thinking.
Miss Carly's place, Miss Carly making the phone call, it does take a lot of courage, you know, to recognize that somebody there could be dangerous and to step away and make a phone call and say, I think they're here. That's what we want every citizen to do.
Although Rice says she did what needed to be done, she still feels a need to offer her support to the inmates.
I didn't make any eye contact with them. I was actually trying to, because I wanted to apologize, because I still think of these people as human beings.
Deering and Newman will be held at the Winnebago County Jail in Illinois until Columbia County can come down here, interview them, and transport them back to Wisconsin.
All right, Gabby, thank you, and Amanda as well.
Authorities have identified the pedestrian hit and killed on the Beltline in Madison early yesterday. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office says 21-year-old Yana Schofield, also known as Austin of Madison, died at the scene. Emergency crews were called to the Beltline near Todd Drive just before 1 a.m. Thursday after someone was hit by a large truck.
A 33-year-old woman is dead after a single vehicle crash. This happened in Rock County. Deputies say it happened near South Reed Road, north of Libby Lane in the town of La Prairie, just before 10:30 last night. Officials say a vehicle driven by a woman crossed the center line, entered a field, and overturned several times. The woman was taken to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead. That crash remains under investigation. A little warmer to end the work week. So what's in store for the weekend? Let's check your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
I think the weekend's looking pretty nice. We'll have plenty of sunshine and windy conditions for tomorrow, but temperatures will be up close to 60 degrees. As we look at visible cloud track today, lots of clouds, especially to the south, but those clouds are starting to break up to our north and west. And on Doppler track, snow that moved through southeastern Wisconsin and especially down into northern Illinois. There were several inches of accumulation heading off to the east. Right now, temperatures are in the middle to upper 40s. Here in Madison, we're at 47. It's actually a little warmer to the north and west, where there's been a little more sunshine. Temperatures will drop to around freezing by tomorrow morning. Look for sunny skies tomorrow. It'll be a windy and milder day with a high temperature of around 59 degrees. Sunday will be just a little cooler, but we'll still see plenty of sunshine, and mild weather will return for next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Wisconsin now has almost 4,100 cases of COVID-19. State and county health officials say that includes 208 deaths, including the second death of a Grant County resident. That person was over 80 years old. The new numbers are an increase of about 150 cases and 25 deaths since yesterday. Health officials say Milwaukee County contains roughly half of the state's total cases, with 2,055 cases as well as 120 deaths. Dane County, 357 confirmed cases now with 17 deaths. The nationwide death toll has soared past 33,000. There are now more than 679,000 confirmed cases of the virus in the U.S., 223,000 of them in the epicenter of New York. And with the coronavirus crisis still gripping much of the nation, beaches in northern Florida are reopening to the public.
We still have to be cognizant of the 6-foot distance between people, the 10 people gathering.
There are signs of hope across the nation, including scenes like these where COVID patients who have recovered are discharged to cheers.
Officials in Wuhan, China are revising the city's coronavirus death toll. Within the past few hours, nearly 1,300 new deaths were added, raising the total to more than 3,800. The city also increased the total number of cases to more than 50,000. This comes as the U.S. accuses China of hiding the scope of the epidemic from the world. First responders in Wisconsin say they deserve more than what was included in legislation passed earlier this week.
Amy Reed joins us now to explain why they feel left out. Amy?
Originally, the new law included something that's been passed in many other states, a presumption that if a first responder tests positive for COVID-19, they got it at work. An amendment added on the floor of the assembly on Tuesday changed that, though. First responders now will have to prove that while they were working, they had contact with someone who tested positive in order to bill workers' comp. Madison Police Chief Vic Wall said that is extraordinarily difficult to prove. Officers still have close contact with many people during their shifts. Those people could be asymptomatic, and even if they do show symptoms, it may not merit a test, Wall said, especially for the sake of a workers' comp claim.
I think the current state of the law in terms of workers' comp and what the expectations are just simply aren't workable. They're not feasible for first responders, especially for police officers. And I think we really owe them more.
Wall said he hopes the legislature can come back and fix this simply by going back to the original language in the bill, which he said was fine. But perhaps even more so, he hopes this is just a philosophical discussion. The department has taken precautions where they can. So far, no one at MPD has tested positive for COVID-19.
Amy, thank you. President Trump has laid out guidelines for gradually reopening the country with a goal of balancing the economy while keeping people safe. In phase one, a soft reopening of parts of the U.S. For example, while the vulnerable still shelter in place, working from home will still be encouraged, but some Americans can slowly start to go back to their offices. Phase two will relax some social distancing efforts like opening schools, allowing elective surgeries and non-essential travel again. For phase three, normal life resumes as much as possible. President, though, lashing out at some states on Twitter a day after empowering governors to carry out his recommendations to reopen the country. He also lashed at congressional Democrats on Twitter, demanding they return to Washington to add more money to the Paycheck Protection Program. Democratic leaders continue negotiations with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin after funding ran out.
I just don't know why they can't do a quick voice vote and replenish it and give $250 billion.
We have said put more money in, but do it in a way so it works for all businesses, not just the larger ones.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he believes both sides are close to a deal.
The Better Business Bureau is warning consumers about scammers when it comes to your stimulus check. The BBB says the IRS will never text, call, or email you about your stimulus checks. They say that right now, consumers are receiving emails from scammers saying that in order to receive your stimulus checks, you need to take a COVID-19 test, which is absolutely untrue. The BBB says seniors are very susceptible when it comes to scammers.
Sometimes seniors are lacking access to technology, to the latest news stories about that. So it's especially important that we connect with our loved ones and just let them know to be patient, because if you are on Social Security, that you will get a check without having to file taxes.
If you are still waiting for your stimulus check, you can track it on the IRS's website. Just click the Get My Payment button on irs.gov. You will have to enter some personal information to access it. The payments are coming in 3 waves. The first payments will go to those who've already filed their 2018 or 2019 tax returns and authorized the IRS to make a direct deposit if they were due a refund.
With the current strains on the healthcare system, UW Health says its medical assistant apprentices are being called on to help. Under normal circumstances, those apprentices mainly focus on classwork and limited clinical studies, but now they're helping with the COVID-19 response. They are still completing their classwork in the 11-month program, but due to clinic consolidation, they are now also helping with employee testing, nursing assistant areas, and child care training.
As a student, it is our responsibility to get good grades and study hard. But with the situation we are in right now, education has taken a back seat, so we can actually step up as employees to help fight this virus.
UW Health says it has the only medical assistant apprentice program in the state. Currently, the 38 entry-level employees are paid while receiving their education and training so they can move into a high-demand career as a medical assistant.
A local Alcoholics Anonymous group leader says he is seeing an increase in people participating in AA meetings. Chris, who is a public information chair for a chapter of Wisconsin Alcoholics Anonymous, says he is seeing an increase of people attending meetings since the Safer at Home order went into effect. He says that using Zoom or other technology to connect is helping people.
And now, where we're in this virtual environment, what we're seeing is that this isolation that is so dominant right now is absolutely taking a toll on people. And I hear people share about this at the meetings all the time, and how they're just uncertain of the future. They're uncertain about a lot of things, and having this opportunity to connect in this capacity via the Zoom meetings has, I think, made a huge difference.
He says that contact with others is important if you are struggling with alcoholism. If you know someone who is struggling, Chris says to reach out to them.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, we'll tell you how you can still get your favorite Dane County Farmers Market items. And coming up tonight at 6, we're tracing what happens to personal protective equipment once it has been worn and how it's being disposed of. That's at 6. And a big day for the Dow to close the week, jumping some 705 points. NASDAQ up 118, while the S&P 500 jumps 75. We'll be right back.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. For a hand up and help with your utility bills now during these difficult times, contact the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
The way you get through hard times is to hold strong to your values. At Group Health Cooperative, our common values have sustained us for over 4 decades. Now is no different. We are here, in our clinics, but we want you to be safer at home. That's why GHC has more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
For almost 50 years, we've built trust within our communities by making customer delight our top priority. That trust allows us to improve lives one home at a time. During this challenging time, we want to make sure your needs are being met without stress by offering 2-for-1 windows with no interest and no payments for 1 year. So go ahead, visit us online, or call now from the comfort of home.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
Help is what we've always given. So thank you to our helpers at BMO and beyond. Thank you to the healers, the fighters, the all-nighters, the cleaners, the movers, the 18-wheelers. Thank you to the farmers, the grocers, the above and beyonders. Thank you to all the frontliners for keeping our lives moving when the world needs to stop.
Together, we can do this. Our spirit is what unites us. It is what bonds us and reminds us we are all one. Which is why if you need a vehicle during this time, we are offering 0% financing for 84 months with no payments for 90 days. And the ability to shop and buy from the safety of your home. Better days are ahead, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
Tonight at 6, an update from the Department of Workforce Development on unemployment benefits claims in Wisconsin. And we're tracing what happens to personal protective equipment once it's been worn and how it's being disposed of safely.
During these tough times, all of us at News 3 Now would like to thank every one of the doctors, nurses, medical staff, and first responders throughout our community.
Please know that your efforts are recognized and greatly appreciated.
Opening of the Dane County Farmers Market outdoor season has been postponed for the foreseeable future, but it announced today a new system of pickups.
Starting April 22nd and continuing on Wednesdays and Saturdays, the DCFM will be hosting local food pickups at Willow Island Adeline Energy Center, partnering with What's Good to launch an online marketplace that will provide a unified shopping experience. Customers can place an order that includes as many participating members' products that they wish to buy. Customers will then go to Willow Island to drive through and get those products directly from the farmer or small business that they ordered from. To participate in the local food pickups, customers have to pre-order. The online DCFM store will be opening on April 20th. The Beloit Farmers Market opening has been postponed until June 6th. The Downtown Beloit Association and City of Beloit Emergency Operations Center made that decision to delay the start for public health and safety reasons, obviously. The Downtown Beloit Association is working to figure out alternative ways to purchase produce and products from vendors.
While we continue to practice social distancing, many people are taking up gardening to help them get some fresh air and enjoy the outdoors. Ben Fuda, the director of Allen Centennial Garden on UW-Madison's campus, says that gardening is very therapeutic for people, especially during unprecedented times.
There's a phrase that we like to use among our team, and that's that gardening can save the world. And maybe in this day, more aptly would be gardens can heal the world.
There are many local resources to help you with your gardening questions, including Old Brick Gardens, the UW Arboretum, the Bruce Company, and the Dane County Extension Helpline.
Sargento Foods is donating $2 million in cheese to food banks all across the country. The company donating to Wisconsin's anti-hunger leader, Hunger Task Force, and Hunger Relief Federation of Wisconsin. It's also donating cheese to Feeding America to help families outside the state. They're donating 15.8 million cheese sticks to feed more than 1.3 million households. That equals 740,000 pounds of cheese. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti takes us through the weekend. Gary?
Still rather chilly today, but we will see milder weather for tomorrow. Maybe some thunderstorms for the second half of next week, along with some mild weather. But this is Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin. Tonight, we'll take a look at severe thunderstorm safety rules. When a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for your area or severe thunderstorms threaten, before the storm arrives, make sure you secure loose outdoor items items like lawn chairs or bicycles and move vehicles into the garage so that they won't be as susceptible to hail damage. Stay away from windows. Obviously, any high winds could cause those windows to shatter. And remember lightning hazards. Stay off of corded phones or computers, anything that's attached to power cords, because that could bring lightning into the house. And obviously, you don't want to go outside during lightning. And the other thing, too, is remember that tornadoes can form pretty suddenly with very little advance warning if a severe thunderstorm threatens. So don't just say, hey, it's only a severe thunderstorm warning, I don't need to worry. We've had several instances in the past few years of tornadoes that developed very quickly when there was only a severe thunderstorm warning out. Doppler track right now, pretty quiet across Wisconsin. There was a little bit of light snow down toward the Illinois state line early this morning. That snow has moved off into Michigan, but that brought a swath of accumulating snow through much of northern Illinois and Indiana. In fact, you can see that on the snow depth. Several inches of snow into the southern suburbs of Chicago. The Easter snow starting to melt across Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin, but still a fair amount of snow on the ground over the western upper peninsula of Michigan, thanks to the cold weather that we've had recently. Temperatures at least have been in the middle 40s, middle to upper 40s for the most part. As we get some more sunshine and southerly winds for tomorrow, those temperatures will go up. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It'll also be windy for tomorrow, with winds in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range out of the southwest, and that will bring temperatures into the upper 50s. For Sunday, look for temperatures to drop back a little bit into the lower 50s, but will be dry for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week before the next chance of showers and thunderstorms arrives from Wednesday afternoon all the way through Saturday. It won't be raining that whole time. There'll be plenty of dry hours in there as well, but it also will be mild too, with high temperatures in the lower to middle 60s. On weather track, you can see a series of storm systems out in the Pacific Ocean, so the weather pattern will start to become a little more unsettled as we head into the latter part of next week. But in the short term, things will stay pretty quiet. The weather systems are still coming in from the northwest, meaning they don't have a lot of moisture associated with them. The next one that will come in will actually bring just a slight chance for a shower tomorrow night. On weather track right now, you can see things very quiet across the central part of the Midwest. And as we look at future track, you can see how skies clear out overnight. Tomorrow, those mild southwesterly winds kick in. Temperatures will jump up. Tomorrow night, just a slight chance for a shower as the front comes through. And then Sunday, with northerly winds, temperatures will be just a little bit cooler. For tomorrow, look for a windy and milder day with a high temperature of 59 degrees under mostly sunny skies. 7 to 10 day forecast brings temperatures back into the lower 50s for Sunday, but around 60 on Monday, upper 50s for Tuesday. Those rain chances come up a bit for the second part of next week, but high temperatures generally be in the lower 60s before turning a little cooler for next weekend. Spring is starting to show up, at least on the weather maps.
Sure looks like it. Looking forward to it. Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, 3 astronauts return home in the middle of a pandemic. We'll hear from them ahead at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. As part of your community, we're here to help you during these challenging times.
Keeping your Toyota safe and reliable is important, especially right now. Many of our service centers are open. Schedule service online and drop off and pick up your vehicle with no contact. Need to replace your old vehicle? Most Toyota dealers offer online shopping and will defer your first payment for 90 days.
We're here for you. Contact your local Toyota dealer to see how they can help. Toyota.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
During times like these, it's important to stay connected.
The new normal isn't normal at all.
But just because we're apart
doesn't mean we're alone.
We can reach out to old friends. Remind our family that we love them.
Stay on top of business,
even if it isn't business as usual.
Because we are resilient.
No matter how much distance is between us, we will never let you lose your connection.
US Cellular has a network you can count on, which means you can do anything, even make a commercial.
U.S. Cellular.
Getting meals to go from Hy-Vee is even easier with the new Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go website and curbside pickup. Just order delicious meals online and get no contact pickup. Choose from Chinese, sushi, fried chicken, lasagna, enchiladas, burgers, pizza, many of your favorite sides, and more. Just order online at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime. Then park in a designated mealtime spot and we'll bring your order out. Feed your family for less and order Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go today.
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Great tasting Ensure with 9 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, and nutrients to support immune health.
Are you the kind of woman who puts everyone else first? But what about you? Our OBGYN team at Associated Physicians wants you to know that we are here to focus on you. Call us for an appointment today at 233-9746.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of Apollo 13's hair-raising landing after the lunar crew survived a mechanical failure in space.
NASA marked the date by bringing home astronauts from the space station overnight. Medical teams wore masks as they greeted the newly returned astronauts to Earth. Americans Jessica Meir and Andrew Morgan, along with their Russian crewmate, returned to a planet dramatically different than the one they left behind last year.
It's difficult to believe all the changes that have taken place since both of us have been up here. It certainly will be very difficult for me to not be able to give some hugs to my family and friends.
Through their ingenuity and their professionalism, they're going to return us to Earth safely, just like their predecessors did 50 years ago.
Once back in Houston, Meir and Morgan will spend their first week in an extended quarantine at the Johnson Space Center.
Members of the class of 2020 are missing an iconic rite of passage, prom. But a celebrity DJ is stepping in to give them a virtual night to remember. Office star John Krasinski sent out a prom invitation on Instagram. It's a TikTok video in which he asks 2020 high school seniors to join him for a virtual prom tonight. It alternates between him dressed up in a suit and wearing a stained T-shirt. Krasinski jokes it shows how he wants to look for prom versus how he'll probably appear. Krasinski is calling the event the SGN Prom. The name comes from a web series he's using to cheer up people during the pandemic. It's called Some Good News.
Gary Canalti shares his favorite prom stories. Final check of the forecast coming up. Stay with us.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering current Chevy owners OnStar Crisis Assist services and complimentary Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available. It's just our way of doing our part.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. And with great deals available, there's never been a better time to buy at your local dealership. To find the dealer near you, visit CubCadetDealers.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. During Safer at Home, we've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
No one asked for this to happen, but this is our time when our hearts, our humanity, and our communities rise. This moment will challenge us. It will define us. It's why we are here. But this moment is not bigger than us. And we will show up every day for you. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
past 50 years, we've built trust within our communities by making customer delight our top priority. That trust allows us to improve lives one home at a time. During this challenging time, we want to make sure your needs are being met without stress by offering 2-for-1 windows with no interest and no payments for 1 year. So go ahead, visit us online, or call now from the comfort of home.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News tonight, some governors announced dates for relaxing stay-at-home orders. Which dates, when, and do health experts think it's too soon? Plus, our series, Racing to a Cure, continues. Dr. John LaPook digs into the science behind hydroxychloroquine, the anti-malaria drug touted by the president. Tonight, is it safe? And Steve Hartman goes on the road and meets a nurse who is the perfect example of what makes our healthcare professionals heroes. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
Let's head to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti with a big prom story. So what do you got
Gary, you
for
gonna
us,
have some
Gary?
prom stories for us?
Yeah, actually, I didn't go to prom. I worked, so I could probably relate better than everybody. I worked through prom.
We'll get a weather update in 30 minutes on News Now at 6. Take care.